Good morning. Good morning. What is good, y'all? It is your boy Nick here with Breaking Bad Boxing. Just wanted to discuss this weekend's boxing a little bit, quite frankly. Kind of just chop it up. I really didn't. I didn't drop any predictions this weekend. I was super busy in the doing tape studies for the Patreon. Um, my boxing plays and picks haven't been great lately. The picks and plays themselves have not been great lately. Like the only real official play I gave out this week was Dubois not to go the distance. And, we saw Dubois not go through the gears after getting the knockdown. I have no excuse. My picks and official plays have not been great. The tape has been good. Like, I feel like the tape breakdowns have been okay. I just haven't been pulling the trigger on easy squares. Like Shernika Johnson decision, easy square. And I didn't pull the trigger on it. Jake Paul knockout after round 4, easy square, didn't pull the trigger on it, stuff like that. So I'm going to be honest, man, like I haven't been doing in terms of official plays and predictions, not great, but at least I've been cracking the tape, going super heavy on the tape. And that could be another reason too, is I've been doing a lot of tape last minute. So I think that could be pushing my tape not being the best. So this week, my focus is the Japanese card. I'm starting it today. I'm going to get all my plays and predictions out by Thursday. So that way I can have a breather on a Friday and enjoy the actual fights on a Saturday morning. I'm stoked. Little showtime. Hope you're doing it well, bro. Yeah, man. I mean, I was just looking at the slate for early 2026, and man, we have a lot of good fights to bet on. We have a Jit Cabiel, which we know will be a stoppage coming against Damian. You have Bomba Gonzalez versus Yanquiel Rivera, which I'm very interested and curious in that line to see how the tape breaks down. You got shit, man. I was just screenshotting it. You have a bunch of stuff come down the pipe. Keys, my brother. Hope you're doing well, big dog. So yeah, man. I mean, we have a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. It is definitely a strange time in boxing right now. I feel like, too, as well, another thing about not pulling the trigger. I text my buddy this. This is not an exaggeration. I text my buddy this, and you guys know me. I'm big with live betting and pulling the trigger on live betting. Richard's KO may be live now. When it was plus 900, and who pulled the trigger? Not me, champ. Not me. Starting 2026 with T.O. beating Shakur. That's another tape. That's another film that I should probably do super early and get that out. I'll probably get that out within a week or two, to be honest with you. I'm interested about that fight, man. A lot of people are on Shakur, and I think the line's off. I'm not saying I think T.O. wins yet. I'm just saying a almost minus 300 price tag on Shakur Stevenson coming up in weight versus finally a real athlete and Twitch fighter. Not someone that's going to, are you circumcised like God intended? Oh, man. I'm a woman. I don't know if you knew this, brother, but I'm a woman. Nick is short for Nicole, actually, so I'm not, unfortunately. So sorry to break that one to you, brother. With that being said, man, I think the line's off. Again, not saying that I think Teofimo is going to win. I just think that for the fact that Shakur's coming up in weight and, Teo's good, bro. Teo on his best night is super fucking good. I mean, and Shakur's world level. So I just think it's both pretty hilarious, man. That was pretty funny. 420 Vape Lord. You got my ass there. I was not expecting that. I appreciate the morning laugh. Let's see what other fights are coming down the pipe too as well. I mean, I'm curious to see what's up with Naoya Inoue and Picasso. And let me tell you why. Because Naoya Inoue has been doing a lot of training, overtraining. Picasso is a tough cookie, good high-volume Mexican fighter, literally tough. I'm curious, is that a 7 through 12 or is that a decision kind of play? Because, we saw MJ damn near stay on the back foot all fight and not really engage with Inoue. So I think that took away from the 7 through 12. But I'm curious to see if Inoue is going to go through the gears, have an easy night. When Teo is on, he beats anyone. I do agree with that. When Teo is on, he's as good as anybody there is in the game. Period. Joshua Fury. Is that official? Is Joshua Fury official? Isn't Fury supposed to have like a comeback fight? And I'm always iffy when it comes to these boxing matches, when it comes to comeback fights, just due to the fact of we have to see how the comeback fight actually works. We've seen it a few times where it just doesn't work out properly. Let's look into it. Stephanie Han, Holly Holm. Interesting line, interesting fight in general. Subriel Matias, my boy. I'm sorry, I know it's an unpopular opinion. Subriel Matias, one of my favorite boxers. Free my boy Subriel versus Dalton Smith. Very intriguing fight. Shout out Little Showtime. Mortaya versus Cruz. That's a great fight. That's a great fight. Two fighters I guess I'm not as high on Murataya because he hasn't shown me the growth fight over fight that I was a little bit disappointed in his last one. But Murataya is good, man. Murataya is really good. And as we know, Andy Cruz, he's one of the few amateur pedigree Olympian style boxers that's going to grow well into the pro game. I really believe that. Rocha versus Curiel, gangster fight, bro. Liam Paro versus Patty Donovan. Liam Paro versus Patty Donovan. Patty Donovan at a plus 110. Man, brother, I was seeing you go back and forth with someone today that about Tete is going to beat a Coley. And I was going to post the gambling hotline number to say, anyone betting on this fight, please call this number. What are we doing betting on Ebenezer Tete? Ebenezer Tete in fucking 2025, damn near 2026. Y'all remember that Dylan White fight versus Ebenezer? Man. Oh, man. Oh, bro, they have Jorge Chavez and Gucci Manny rematch. Love that fight. Love that fight. As you said, Rocha Curiel, 50-50 fight, literally by definition. Josh Kelly versus Bakram, great fight. And then I think, honestly, one of the more intriguing fights of the month. Bro, why is so much boxing competing on January 31st, guys? Think about this. You have Josh Kelly and Bakram, Xander Zayas and Barao, and Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson all on the same day. I mean, dope. But fuck, dude, I hate that because we're going to get two overlapping main events and somehow. I mean, I guess Kelly Bakram's in the UK morning fight will be good there. But Xander Zayas and Teofimo Lopez may possibly overlap at some point, which dope for plays, horrendous for live betting. Horrendous for live betting, but great for boxing in general, man. I just hate watching two fights on two screens at the same time. I very much like watching one fight at one time. You think Ball? I think Ball is going to run through Fig. I think Ball is going to, bro. Figueroa. Okay, here's the thing: is Figueroa didn't look great in his Cool Boy fight. He was kind of bullying Cool Boy a little bit, even though Cool Boy had a good box performance. But in terms of size, he was bullying Cool Boy a little bit. And I forgot his last fight. Was it Gonzalez? I think it was Gonzalez that Figgy fought in his last one. You know, he looked good, but he gets beat up to the body. And when he allows people on the inside with their head on the inside, he gets tagged to the body and he allows to eat cheeky uppercuts. Nick Ball does one thing that nobody ever talks about. Everyone just talks about Nick Ball as a forward marauder getting on the inside and banging away in different positions, just slapping the guard, punching the body, punching whatever you have. Nick Ball does the slip head off a line, backhand uppercut that's going to tag Figgy all night. I'm telling you guys, all night. It actually wouldn't surprise me with Figgy coming up in weight, you know, or is he this is technically, I mean, he's not coming up in weight. He's fought at 126 now twice then at this case. I just think Figgy's going to get tagged up, bro. I think he's going to get beat up to the body. That slip-off rear hand uppercut that Nick Ball loves to throw, it's super sick. Not a lot of fighters throw it. I think he's going to beat up Figgy. And I've seen people, I just think people don't like Nick Ball. No one ever gives Nick Ball the respect he deserves, and I think he deserves respect. He doesn't fight any 126-pounders. Guys, he fights who his management and promotions are putting in front of him, and he's beating them. Everyone respects Raymond Ford as a possible world champion, right? Or a future world champion. He was once a world champion, now a future, right? Raymond Ford, guys, lost that fight. And I love Raymond Ford, and I rate him very highly. Nick Ball beat Raymond Ford. Nick Ball should have got the nod versus Ray Vargas. That was a crazy-ass draw that he got in that case here. He finishes Doheny and he finishes Rios, as he should, even though it's a little bit later. But yes, he finishes those guys. And Sam Goodman is... Everybody loves Sam Goodman, but no one's ever going to give him the credit he deserves for beating Sam Goodman because he's a 122-pounder. Now he's fighting Figgy, a guy that's an oversized 122-pounder. I understand the complaints that he doesn't fight 126-pounders enough. But let me tell you guys something. If he fights Shushu Carrington, who's everybody's darling, Nick Ball is beating up Shushu Carrington. I promise you. I fucking promise you. Nick Ball is beating up Shushu Carrington. Who are the other champions at 126? Okay, he definitely has issues with Rafa. Rafa versus Nick Ball is a great fight. I think him versus Leo, I think Leo is too willing to take pictures and sit on the back foot. And shout out my boy BT from True Sports, because I know Angelito Leo's his guy. And I love Angelito Leo. I got his knockout versus Luis Alberto Lopez at plus 2,000 live, and he cashed me. I love him for that. But, dude, I think Nick Ball walks down Angelo Leo, who's still willing to sit on the back foot and take pictures, and beats him up too. Who's the other champion at 126 that I'm forgetting, y'all? I mean, there's Mirko Coelho, which is a good fight. But I also favor Nick Ball over Mirko Coelho. And someone help me with the last champion at 126. None of the champions at 126 fighting each other, all waiting for Inoue. Such a joke, man. Such a joke. Wasn't it Stephen Fulton? That was another champion at 126, and he vacated. Who's the last champion, guys? Someone help me here. I already said Espinoza, so I said Espinoza, Hoffa, who I think is the fight that Nick Ball has trouble with, just because he is so sharp and he's so good at using his length. I said Angelo Leo, who I think Nick Ball, I would favor Nick Ball going into that pre-tape. Mirko Coelho is a champion in recess, which is a good fight. That's a good-ass fight. Who are the other champions? I got to look it up now. 126 boxing champions. It was Stephen Fulton, like we talked about. And I guess Ray Vargas, and then Shushu, the champion in recess. So I guess I covered all the bases. Yeah, he's fighting Carlos Castro. He should beat Carlos Castro, but I'm not sleeping on Carlos Castro. Guys, I'm not high on Shushu. I'm just not high on Shushu. I am not sold on him. If you're in the comments listening right now and you're high on Shushu, can you sell Shushu to me? Can you sell Shushu to me? We're seeing that the Solomon win is aging pretty well, but, quite frankly, Solomon put it on him, and that could have been a draw. Watching live, I thought Solomon beat Shushu, which is aging well. Solomon Sagawa, love that guy. To this day, the only pro boxer that actually follows me on Instagram. So I'm a big fan of that guy. Shushu went not life and death, but had close rounds with the Nigerian taxi driver in his last one. Ball would do bad things to Shushu Carrington, man, especially in a small arena. Thank you. Ball would beat the shit out of Shushu. Bro, I'm telling you. And that could be an unpopular opinion, bro. After watching Shushu's last two performances, he's all talk, he's all hyped. And what is he, like a 29-year-old prospect then at this point? Shushu Carrington, let's go look, man. I think the Carlos Castro fight's a good fight, though. I think if he wins that fight specifically, I think that's a fight that I actually rate pretty highly. Thought Carlos Castro gave Cool Boy all he could handle. Dana Coolwell, that's a win that's aging well. Solomon, I don't even know if he won that fight, quite frankly. I think he could have gave it a draw. You think he even given it to Solomon if we're looking at it, quite frankly. Again, the Haida fight. They brought in Haida to get smoked through, and he didn't even finish Haida in 12 rounds. He didn't go through the gears and finish him. I mean, the Dana Coolwell performance was really good. DJ, what's up, playa? I hope you're doing well, man. Just kind of going through the rants of the 126 division. And how I think actually Nick Ball is slightly underrated. How I don't think Nick Ball gets the credit that he deserves, just because I know people bitch that he always fights 122-pounders. I know that they don't love that, but I was just kind of going through about the champions I think he beats, and the champion, which is Rafa Espinoza, that I think he has the most trouble with. Not an unpopular opinion there, right? To think that Espinoza gives Nick Ball trouble. Hope you're doing well, though, DJ. Bless you on a Sunday, brother. But, yeah, man, I hope you hit some tickets, bro. It's been hard dog hunting this weekend, man. It's been hard dog hunting in general. There were free squares that I'm just like kicking myself for not taking. Not taking Shanika Johnson decision. Freest square of all time. Like, what am I doing here, man? Even in my write-up breakdown, I said I see Shanika Johnson edging this in a 7-5 decision or 7-3 decision and not taking free squares. So it's something we're going to look to revamp in 2026. Maybe take a few free squares. Maybe even take a few chalk parlays. I can't even believe that I'm saying that, man. But yeah, there's a lot of good fights to look forward to. I already ran through a few of them here. I'm curious, do you guys think Abbas Barao could actually give Xander Zayas some issues? I think Barao, man, could give Zayas some issues for real, man. DJ, that is hilarious. You say that. The only official play I gave out this weekend, the only official play was Dubois not to go the distance. Plus 142, it was like 12 cents better than our knockout line. So I said, fight not to go the distance. I'll take that at a better odds. And dude, when she got that knockdown, I said, here we go. Let's go through the gears, Carolina Dubois. She sat on the back foot versus a short notice replacement. Didn't run through the gears at all. It just feels like I'm just gonna vent a little bit. I'm getting bad variance up the ass, left and right. Pause as hell. But here's the thing: when I say this, bad variance. Maxie Hughes was a good dog pick. His coach has a heart attack the day of. People actually gave the fight to Maxie Hughes. A lot of fans did. And quite frankly, he had 1 gear of gas he could have went through in 1 round, and he would have minimum got a draw, possibly the decision. We have Carolina Dubois not to go the distance. She gets the flash knockdown and doesn't go through the gears to get the finish. Like, what are we doing here, man? There's other calls, but I'm just blanking on them just because they've been getting kicked in the ass so bad, man. So literally, she didn't step on it. If she would have stepped on it, she would have had her out of there. AJKO is probably the best value ever. Minus 300 Jake should have been plus 10,000. That's true. Do you know that AJ's AJ by KO live was like minus 200 after round 3 or 4 or something on the live lines? Something absolutely insane. Like his KO line live was like, put the mortgage on it. Because the minute everyone saw Jake Paul skirting, by the way, I have to tell you guys this. I've never watched a Jake Paul fight. Fun fact. I've never watched a Jake Paul fight. I wake up every morning the next time and see the highlights if it's worthy of my time. Woke up the next morning, saw a box wreck. I went to bed literally by the Jake Paul fight. Wasn't even worth my time. Saw the highlights, saw the skirting, saw the knockout, saw how fucked up his jaw was. Bro, minus 130 before round 5 is insane. Insane. I have a buddy that put like 5K on the knockout after round 3 at minus 200. I woke up to him like some crazy tickets. I was like, what the fuck, man? That is just absolutely insane. What a hit. I had Williamson by decision, but he stopped Simpson. It's crazy. Did you see the scorecards? You had a 88-84, 87-84, and then an 86-85, all of which had Simpson up. 2 knockdowns would have covered 2 of those scorecards essentially from the 10-7 round. But dude, that after that 3rd knockdown, I knew it was toast la ghost, bro. Toast la ghost. Troy Williamson's the only live bet that I was able to catch yesterday at plus 333. I have a weird thing. If I see a number at like plus 333, plus 444, plus 555, I'm going to take it. Superstition to me. And I saw Williamson. He was plus 250. He jumped to plus 333. So I took it off superstition. I'm glad I did, man. Bro, looks way stronger. Way stronger. When someone asked me about that fight yesterday, I actually said that's one thing that I mentioned. I think it looked better jumping weight class from 168. That was one thing that I noticed is I thought his chin held up way better at 168. I also hate Callum Simpson on the inside, man. I hate Callum Simpson on the inside. Looks that stupid little dumbass like shoe shining type of body work that he does. Not huge on it. But this was literally my quick write-up that someone write. Troy been dropped by lesser op, but never out. Neither have gone out. Both been hurt. Troy's a bit older, and Boxer may want to showcase here, but Troy knows this could be his last shot. If Callum is smart here, he simply boxes his way to decision. No need to risk it versus a decent puncher in Troy. I lean decision, but Johnny took the KO, and I've been way opposite of my guy lately. And then I said, I also think this is aging extremely well. I also think Simpson is a tad overrated. Now to think of it, Troy was dropped at 160. So at 168, his shape may hold even better. He didn't look awful versus Mark Ever before he even dropped Mark. Yeah, bro. Like, honestly, again, that's not trusting your gut enough, right? Like, I haven't been trusting my gut enough, and I'm changing that coming up in the next few weeks. It's time to trust the gut. Fight to go the distance would have got smoked anyways, which is hilarious. But then if we live bet it and just smash Simpson, man. I've been saying Simpson mad overrated. He gets to messy fights with everyone. Troy, a real dog. Yesterday just proved how overrated he really was. Just proved how overrated he really was. Should have took his money line, bro. Hey, we all have, bro. This has been a great learning month, in my personal opinion. Fights that I'm taking people to get knocked out in. Another one. I took Brian Polacco over Marlon by knockout. When the fight not to go the distance was only like 30 cents less. I got greedy. Should have just taken fight not to go the distance. Marlon smoked him in round 1. Scary knockout. Just like small examples like that. So, bro, you're always spitting game. You're always spitting game in the live YouTube chats. You know I appreciate you for real, bro. So, you ever have game you just want to hit someone with, man? Hit me with it. If I tell it, you know I'm always going to give you your props and your kudos. Bro, he wasn't effective at all. He was throwing those stupid little head forward, 3 little patter shots. And you saw Troy, literally, who's someone that does slow down later in fights, or not slow down because he kind of revs up the gears in the last 4 rounds. But in the mid rounds, you see with Troy Simpson always, or I'm sorry, Troy Williamson, rounds 5 through 8, he always has these moments of lulls where he doesn't go through the gears. He looks like he's slowing down, getting like lackadaisical. He was smiling at Simpson when he was throwing those patterning shots, literally smiling at him. Once we saw him smiling, we should have known smash spot right then and there. Let's take him at plus 600. Absolutely insane. Troy fought better. Comp always looked drained at the lower weights. I agree, bro. I agree. Like, bro is always looking. And on top of that, too, as well, Troy Williamson just knows how to slowly step on and step off the gas, right? He knows when to step on the gas and go through the gears. He knows when to step off. These are things that, like, great fighters and elite fighters and kind of differentiate. What I differentiate like a world-class fighter is someone that can do it all. Fight on all phases and all planes, someone that has a multitude of defense and a multitude of offense, can turn their offense into defense. But a big thing that you see with like world-class fighters and elite fighters is they change their punch speed. They change their punch speed. They change their punch output. They know when to rev through the gears. That is something Troy Williamson is, even though I don't think he's a world-class or an elite fighter. He has elite gears. He has an elite sense of the fight, when to build, when to slow down. He just knows how to control a fight through a 12-round, 10-round pace. He's one of those dogs you always like betting on. So shout out to Troy Williamson, bro. Yes, sir. I will see you on the Discord, my man. Simpson thought he was Sugar Ray and just burned him. Bro, he was shaking his arms out after round 6, like legitimately shaking his arms out. Hello from Scotland. What's happening over the USA today? What do you mean by that? I mean, in the USA, it's Sunday, so it's football Sunday, and hope you're doing well in Scotland as well. It's football Sunday, American football Sunday. So you call it, we call it soccer over here, but American football Sunday. So you got a lot of football games. You have people go to church on Sundays. Me, I'm about to walk my dog when I get off this live. And then I'm also going to do a small little research for football because I like putting a little small play on football every now and then. You know, I say every now and then, I do one every Sunday. I love football, man. It's my first ever love. Fun fact, I coached high school football for 2 years. So, you know, football was like truly, which is funny is I never was like a big athlete kind of guy. It's Sunday dinner over here. What are you eating for your Sunday dinner? What are you eating for your Sunday dinner in Scotland? I got to know. And is it something that we would have in the USA? You know, there was actually one more fight I wanted to talk about, and I completely missed out on talking about it. So anyone in the chat too as well, have you guys done your picks on Japan for this week yet? I'm starting my tape on that this week. Sasumi ducked my boy Jazza. He knew Jazz was going to chin him. Can't wait for this in-away card. Yeah, but I think we're going to get an even better fight now. Oshaki Foster versus Jazza is an awesome fight. Oshaki Foster is going to probably like 9-3 him. I'm sorry, Kiza. It's probably going to 9-3 him with the jab and nullify him, but that's an awesome fight, bro. Jazza versus Oshaki. Even though we now have, if Oshaki Foster's staying at 130, we have Oshaki Foster versus Raymond Ford. Come on now. Give me some Oshaki Foster versus Raymond Ford. I think Raymond Ford's been due for, I don't know. I like Raymond Ford, man. I think Raymond Ford's one of those fighters that if he didn't take pictures and he didn't check off during fights, and again, he went through the gears. If he had Troy Williamson's gears, Raymond Ford may never have been beaten. He may be an undefeated fighter right now. And quite frankly, be like a high-level, world-level contender. So, Kensharo versus Will Baldo. We have Kensharo slowing down, even though I'm going to be honest, bro. I thought he still won the Ricardo fight. I thought Kensharo won the Ricardo fight. I don't want to say it was a robbery. It was a close fight, close decision. I had Kensharo winning that one. Will Baldo's a tough cookie, bro. And Will Baldo's one of those people that if you go and look at his record, he has like 5 losses or something like that. But if you also look at his record, all of his losses, I think, are like in his first like 4 or 5 fights. Let me go look up this just to make sure I'm not tripping. Literally, 4 of his 6 losses are literally in his first 6 professional bouts. Like, he's going to get underrated from that alone, man. But Will Baldo is a good operator. And you have a lot of good fighters at the 114 at the super flyweight division that are going to be going through the gears for the championship, man. Like, I really like that division. You have, at you have, if I'm not mistaken, Will Baldo going to be, you're going to have Will Baldo and Taraji. They're going to be fighting. You have Sandoval on the other belt. Is Antonio Vargas? So Antonio Vargas is a flyweight, right? I'm going to go back to the champions. The smaller weight classes I have a harder time keeping up with. Oh, it's all Bam. This is Bam's division. Oh, man. Come on now. Come on now. And then Maloney's team is holding strong in that position. Damn, I just mixed up my smaller weight classes. I'm a casual. My bad, y'all. My bad, y'all. I think there's going to be a lot of value on the distance, especially since Ken Shiro did slow down. That's one thing we have to look at. He no doubt slowed down in that fight. And Renee can pop. And people forget that Renee, even though he doesn't have that many knockouts, Renee has a little bit of pop to him. And the fact that Will Baldo was able to go 24 rounds with Renee, and realistically 24 rounds without not too much issues, man, I honestly think that's a good play here. We've seen Ken Shiro, the age factor coming and determining it. I still do favor Ken Shiro, but I think Baldo has a little bit. There's just going to be value in every one of these fights. We just have to find them. Whether that's going to be the Inoue 7-12 and the Inoue decision, whether that's going to be because Sebastian versus Nakatani is an interesting fight. Pressure forward fighter style Mexican that doesn't get tired versus Nakatani. And Nakatani, the issues he has are with fighters that come forward and pressure. We don't see many chinks in his armor, but when we do see him a little bit when it comes to pressure forward, come forward, put out a lot of volume kind of style of fighter. Doesn't allow Nakatani to get his offense flowing and going. Again, I do favor, as of right now, I favor Inoue, probably a later stoppage. I do favor Nakatani, possibly a later stoppage, but I think we're going to get value on live betting, especially. I think Sebastian's going to make Inoue's life a little bit difficult early, and I think that's going to juice up some value that we're going to get, man. And, bro, the pace that Nakatani was putting on Nishida was insane through 6. Absolutely insane through 6. Can he keep up that pace through 12 versus an also volume-heavy puncher that's a weight class above? Shit, I'm curious to see. I am very curious to see, man. So, yeah, I think that's really all the boxing talk I have for today, y'all. I did almost about 30 minutes. Do we have anything that we want to touch up on before I let y'all go? I appreciate everyone that jumped in. If you did jump in, if you could simply just drop a like, that would be very helpful. For the Japan card, I will be getting, I don't want to overshoot myself, but I will be getting at least 2 predictions out this week. I don't know which fights they will be. More likely than not, I will be getting the Inoue and Picasso overall prediction. I'll be doing, you know what I will be doing actually? I'll no doubt be dropping the Will Baldo versus Taraji prediction just because the lines are good on that one. It's better bettable line. So I'll no doubt get the Renee versus Will Baldo. And I'll decide between Juto and Sebastian and Inoue and Picasso. So yeah, with that being said, man, that's what I'll be getting out, man. Do you think Naoya Inoue gets a knockout? My dog keeps looking up. His name's Inoue, by the way. I mean, if we're getting a knockout, we're looking at the 7-12 knockout. Picasso's a tough customer, good volume. He's willing to be in a firefight, which I think will ultimately be his downfall. I think his toughness will ultimately be his downfall. Was it who's the old boy that just beat Cashmero that gave Picasso a good ass fight? Someone help me. Kamita. Him and Kamita were just kind of brawling, bro. And if he does that with Inoue, man, he's gonna get sharp shot on. So I think that's gonna be the ultimate downfall. I gotta do the tape and see how good his chin is in older fights. And I do think Inoue is slightly slowing down. I think he's past his prime. I don't think he's old by any standards, but it sucks because he is past his prime. By the time he fights Nakatani, it's gonna be the twilight of his prime. It's gonna be the last fight of like his post great Inoue days, man. As he starts going through these super fights and the bigger gears, we're going to see Inoue really have a downfall. He's not going to end undefeated in his career. I really don't believe that. I do think he beats Picasso, but are we seeing Inoue slow down enough to where he's not getting knockouts anymore? I'm not overrating that MJ performance yet because MJ was so willing to sit on the back foot and did nothing himself. Another thing, too, is Inoue's been fighting so many southpaws. And I don't think Picasso's not a southpaw. Picasso's a standard orthodox fighter, if I'm not mistaken. Let me make sure I'm not speaking out of my ass there. Yeah, he's a standard orthodox fighter. 25-year-old Mexican who are tough to fight, tough to stop. These are a lot of factors that I'm playing into it. And we're probably going to get value on an Inoue decision, if anything. So I'm going to do the tape. I'll probably drop a breakdown for that one. All of my tape studies are in my Patreon too as well. If you want to support the Patreon, Patreon is in my link in my Twitter and in my Twitter and in my YouTube bio. Really, I drop full breakdowns of tape studies, fighter breakdowns. If you request a fight to tape to as well, I will break down any requested fights to tape to as well. I feel like really that's what my Patreon's for, is for you to request fight tape, for me to break them down for you, give fight clips, all that good stuff. So if you're interested, please jump in. My boy Kiza's in there. Shout out my boy Kiza. If Nakatani beats Inoue, he could become the GOAT of boxing. That would make him a 4-weight champion. Could be easy fight at 126, maybe even 130. So here's my problem with that is I think Inoue right now, I favor him to beat Nakatani. I still favor him to be the bigger guy, bigger puncher, even though it is a super close fight. But at 126, who does he beat at 126? Okay. He beats Shushu. He beats Angelo Leo. Does he beat Hoffa? And does he beat Nick Ball? He probably beats Nick Ball. Nick Ball is going to run into something. So let's say he beats Leo. He beats Nick Ball. Say Shushu becomes champion. He beats Shushu. He beats the shit out of Ray Vargas, if Ray Vargas, who's the champion of recess. So that leaves Hoffa. Yeah, no, you're right. You're honestly right, man. Looking at it, like he really could be a champion at 126 too as well. Like that's actually insane, bro. Nakatani versus Espinoza from the size dimensions, I think would be insane, man. Like, I don't know, man. Do you think Nakatani beats Inoue? Are you favoring Nakatani right now? It's a good fight, man. That's a good fight. What lines are we going to get on that fight? Man, that's, I don't know if you guys know this. I'm afraid of flying. I plan on that being my first flight, is all the way to Japan. Is going all the way to Japan for Inoue Nakatani. Now I'm just rambling. Thanks for listening to me ramble, y'all. I appreciate it. But yeah, Nakatani versus Espinoza. So many good fights, man. I think if Inoue wins, but if anyone I think Inoue wins, but if anyone beating him, it's Nakatani. Patience, long range, jab. Yeah, I can understand it with Nakatani, man. What a good fight. If this fight was 2 years ago, Inoue smoking Nakatani, just because then that's the prime Inoue. But again, twilight of his prime, probably catching him at the right time. So with that being said, y'all, as always, it's love, it's peace, it's chicken grease. I'll see you guys next time.